Join me as I build a shelf. For the first time,
I got a lot of lumber, and I have a lot of projects to do, but I think the first one I'm going to do is a shelf. Wow, that's boring. I don't want to see you build a shelf. I've never built a shelf. So this should be fun. This should be entertaining. Yeah, I'm 22 and I've never built a fucking shelf. They took away shop class in like, I don't know, 92. Fuck. This lumber is what remains of the previous owner's game room. That used to be right here. And now I'm using what were the walls for the legs of my shelf. I already cut these down to 6 foot using a Dremel.
Now why in the world would you use a Dremel to cut those?
I had bought this set of DeWalt tools off of Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks. And they work, but the battery is fried. I get maybe 2 volts from the battery. So mid-project, when my Sawzall stopped working, I said fuck it and I got my Dremel. But since then, I robbed my dad of his Ryobi circular saw. And this one's on a power cable. After digging through all of these piles of rubble from the game room, I found 5 pieces that'll work as the width for the shelf.
Before I continue, because you speak into the world what you want, right? You just might get it. Silk almond milk. I drink you every day. Please sponsor me. I'm working on a lot of expensive projects and I would really appreciate your support. I'll put you in a little clip just like this every video I make. Consider it. Please. I'm begging. It's delicious. But this is the wall I'm planning to put the shelf on. That was sexy as fuck, I know. But I can't have it poke out too far because I'm also going to have a desk running to here. You're leaning on the very edge of the desk. I know you can't see it, but now you know it. The smallest piece out of the 5 that I rummaged from the rubble of a game room is 8 inches, which honestly, I think is going to work out pretty well. That's not too far out. I ran into a storage issue, so that entire clip of me cutting stuff got cut a little short. Haha. That's my favorite sound effect, and it really doesn't last that long, so you guys are gonna get some poorly done voiceovers in between. I'm sure by now you're probably wondering why I'm doing all of this in my basement.
No!
And it's for 3 reasons, honestly. 1, despite the fact that I am posting online, I'm not much of a people person, and I'd rather not meet my neighbors. Out of the 3 years I've been living here, I've only had 1 run-in with one of my neighbors, and I'd like to keep it that way. 2, it's my fucking basement. I can do whatever I want in my fucking basement. I think that was it, actually. I think it was only 2 reasons. I don't want to meet my neighbors, and I can do whatever I want. I feel as though now's a good time to mention that I'm no professional. I just do stuff to do stuff. What's the phrase? A jack of all trades is a master of none, but is oftentimes better than a master of one. Anyway, I'm going to measure the long legs for the shelf, the height, and I'm going to decide where I want my shelves, because I need underneath storage too, where I'm going to put totes. But I'm going to be using a measuring tape, a Sharpie, and wood glue. You're welcome. I ran out of storage again, but we're good now. I finished this, and now I just have to glue and screw. I absolutely wasn't kidding when I said I'm not a professional. Everything you see me doing is stuff I either learned from my dad or YouTube. I might not be doing it right, but at least I gave it a shot, and I'm trying to learn. And I encourage everybody who is watching me do this. You should try to learn too. It doesn't matter if you're building a birdhouse or a shelf. Low battery got me that time, but I'll tell you what. Not again. Not again. I got this side done. I still need to add the extra little blocks underneath right here so they don't break if I put a lot of weight on them, but I'm happy with it. She's not perfect, but neither am I. She stands on her own though. Look at that. I built that.
If anyone was curious about the screws that I'm using,
No!
I will read it right from the box for you. I'm using Deckmate 2.5 inch, 6.3 centimeter, 5 pound net weight star drive coated screws with the lifetime warranty. Don't ask me how much the box cost. I stole it straight from my dad's garage while he was at work. I will be returning them, probably with the box half empty and most of my projects completed, but they will be returned. The drill I'm using is a Milwaukee. I'm not going to look that up and use all the technical jargon. It's been a minute since you've last seen me, since I've last seen you, since we've last seen these shelves. All I've got so far is what you've seen me build. 1 frame, 2 frame, and a little stack right here that we're going to be using for the slats across. I lied. Off camera, I cut, glued, and screwed in all of the wedges that I needed for supports under the shelf. So I'm going to measure those down to about 3 foot 7 inches and cut them down and attach them to this thing. And then we might be done, depending on how much weight they can hold. Otherwise, I need to add another beam right behind me, which I don't want to do, but we'll see about that. If you ask me, I think I'm doing a pretty bang-up job on this shelf. The only thing that I'm technically doing wrong is using 2 metal chairs as my sawhorses. If I was a little less confident in my abilities, I would definitely be using wooden sawhorses. If you are a beginner or you've never touched a saw, please don't do what I am doing, and definitely have somebody there to help you. And you can't see it, but I'm wearing safety glasses. It's 10:10 a.m. I have a little less than an hour before I have to go to work, which... lame! My cat gets it. I can't find a good spot for you, so you're just gonna have to deal with this view. I cut all of these to roughly 3 feet and 7 inches. I'm really not too worried about it being perfect, because this is a fucking basement art studio shelf. I'm just gonna paint it and it's just gonna live here. It's not going on showcase, it's not going to an art gallery, it's not going to a museum, it's not a church. Everything is fine. Shelf. This is what we've got so far. It looks beautiful, absolutely amazing, spectacular for a 22-year-old's first shelf. So sturdy for something with no screws. Hello, ceiling dweller. As you can see, there's like maybe half a foot right here, like a couple inches just missing from my shelf. And I am planning on doing something about that. I just haven't decided what yet. I interrupt this broadcast to remind my viewers that this project is fueled by reclaimed wood. I wanted to use the air horn sound, but TikTok doesn't have that, so just accept second best. That's why I didn't screw these down. So, I'm sorry to do this to you again, but join me next time, because this video is getting really long, and I honestly don't want to sit here and edit it for like 6 hours, so. It was actually 3.5 weeks. I lost the entire video once, and all of my editing twice. Forgive me, but come back next time when I finish this shelf.